The most cost-effective multi-sport watch, the Garmin Vivoactive 3, is part of a wearable tech trend this year, particularly in the domain of fitness watches. Garmin wants you to wear the Vivoactive all day, every day, even though it's primarily a multi-sport watch like the Garmin Fenix 5 or the TomTom Adventurer. That's why it's added crucial features like NFC payments and notification responses to the basic fitness wearable recipe. What you should know. When you leave the gym, you won't want to take this fitness wearable off. You may wear it not just when exercising, but also while going about your regular activities, such as strolling about the home, going to and from the store, and sleeping. It can track swims, runs, bike rides, and gym workouts, as well as give alerts like a traditional wristwatch, a task it does remarkably effectively. Because the amount of applications that can be loaded isn't as large as that of an Android Wear Watch or an Apple Watch, think of it as a wearable that bridges the gap between fitness devices and smartwatches, competition and price. Because it falls in between a few distinct wearable categories, comparing prices is a little more difficult than comparing prices for a fitness tracker or a high-end sports watch. That's because, in addition to multi-sports watches like the TomTom Adventurer and Spark 3 Cardio, the Garmin competes with devices like the Fitbit Ionic and Samsung Gear Sport, as well as more serious watches like the Fenix and Forerunner series and the all-in-one Apple Watch Series 3. It's more costly than the TomTom Adventurer and Spark 3 Cardio, but those watches don't provide alerts and aren't quite as slim, lightweight, or comfy as the Vivoactive. Features and design. The look of the Garmin Vivoactive is one area where it fails to impress. If Garmin is attempting to sell us a lifestyle, it's not working. The Vivoactive's practical design isn't going to win any design prizes. The brushed stainless steel bezel is attractive, but the black screens around and plain black polycarbonate body are uninspiring. The watch's stretched black rubber wristband doesn't help matters, but with the watch's regular 20mm strap fitting, you can simply change it with something prettier. Having saying that, the Vivoactive 3 is a lightweight, comfortable watch with a lot of useful functions. For starters, the strap offers an incredible range of adjustment, so it will fit both large and thin wrists. It has all of the sensors you'll need for almost every fitness monitoring chore you can think of. Inside are GPS and GLONASS positioning radios, a barometric altimeter, compass, accelerometer, and thermometer, as well as an optical heart rate sensor on the back. The watch is water resistant to 5 atm, so you can wear it in the pool, and the screen is protected by Gorilla Glass 3 to prevent scratches and scuffs. While the Vivoactive 3's 1.2 inches, 240 by 240 LCD can't compete with the ultra-vivid Fitbit Ionic, Apple Watch, or Samsung Gear Sport, it's still a good option. It features transflective LCD technology, which means it's constantly on yet saves energy because it doesn't need a backlight to read in normal or strong sunlight. Plus, unlike normal OLED wristwatch screens, the display grows sharper as the sun gets brighter. When you lift your wrist in the dark, the screen illuminates, however it is very sensitive. When I wore it in bed, it tended to activate, waking me up in the middle of the night. Fortunately, you can simply put the gadget into Do Not Disturb mode, though setting up an automatic schedule is a bit of a pain. In the Garmin Connect app, alter your sleep time in user settings, then go into device settings to activate Do Not Disturb during sleep. Even so, once you've set it up, the Vivoactive 3 is a dream to use. Depending on the screen you're on and whether you hold it down or press it, a button on one side serves a variety of functions. The watch has a touch screen up top that you tap and swipe to navigate through the various screens, and a touch-sensitive panel on the right edge that lets you scroll through menus and screens without covering the watch face with your finger. Another good feature is the ability to turn the screen in settings so that the button faces left or right. There's a lot the Vivoactive 3 does right in terms of smartphone functions. Long messages are truncated, However, most shorter messages may be viewed in full with a single tap, regardless of the messaging platform. The Vivoactive 3 includes scripted replies such "Sorry, can't chat right now and in a meeting, contact you later." This is restricted to incoming phone calls and SMS messages, which is unfortunate, but it's better than the Fitbit Ionic's offering, which drastically truncates messages and doesn't enable you to answer at all. The lack of on-screen music playback, on the other hand, is a major problem. The Vivoactive screen allows you to see track titles and manage what's playing on your phone, but if you want to run without your phone, you'll have to go music-free. That's great with me. I can't run without earbuds or headphones, but for some folks, this will be a deal breaker. Garmin Pay, the Vivoactive 3's other major new feature, is similarly a letdown, at least for the time being. At principle, you'll be able to pay for products in stores and restaurants using contactless terminals, but I wasn't able to test it out because no UK banks or credit cards currently support the technology. Let's hope this changes in the months ahead. Even without it, the Garmin Vivoactive 3 is a capable smartwatch replacement, thanks to the Garmin iQ Connect store, which offers a good range of third-party applications, widgets, and watch faces. Tracking your activity and fitness. If all you want is smartwatch functionality, you won't buy a Garmin watch. You buy one largely for the sake of activity and fitness tracking, and the Vivoactive 3 excels in this regard. First and foremost, general activity tracking is fantastic. During the day, the watch tracks your steps, floors climbed, and calories burned, and it continuously monitors your heart rate, recording it at 1-second intervals both during the day and at night. There's also sleep tracking, which monitors your movements throughout the night to determine if you've been in light, deep, or awake. The Vivoactive 3 also gives you a stress score, as well as your average resting heart rate and estimated VO2 max, which is a measurement of lung capacity and, thus, your overall cardiovascular health. It can compute your lactate threshold, which some argue is a superior statistic for calculating workout zones than your maximal heart rate. Furthermore, it can track a wide range of activities, from the most basic to more advanced sports like swimming, golf, indoor workout equipment, skiing, snowboarding, and even paddleboarding. The majority of these may also be changed on the watch itself. Selecting a pool swim, for example, prompts you to choose from a variety of defaults or enter your own length. You may customize what appears on the screen throughout the workout and set alarms depending on time, distance, and calories burned. When it comes to running and other GPS-based sports, you can download sessions from your training calendar, set alarms, laps, and switch on auto pause to prevent your average pace or speed from dropping while you're waiting to cross the street or stopped at traffic lights. In terms of accuracy, it appears to be on par with other optical wrist-based heart rate monitors. When I and a few co-workers checked it out while cycling and jogging in London, it tracked at about the same level as the Fitbit Ionic and didn't give me any weird readings. It won't track your heart rate while you're swimming, but it can be added with an ANT Plus or Bluetooth smart chest strap like the Garmin Herm Plus Swim. Similarly, the GPS performed admirably, precisely monitoring my position throughout an hour-long bike ride. The only minor drawback was that it took around 30 seconds to latch onto a signal, especially in densely populated locations. When the weather is warm and sunny, this isn't an issue, but in the winter, you want to spend as little time as possible outside freezing your different parts off while waiting for a GPS lock. However, the Garmin Vivoactive 3's battery life is exceptional, and here is where it outperforms many of its smartwatch competitors. When I didn't use the GPS, it lasted up to 6 days between charges, which is really good considering it's always measuring heart rate. Even if you only use it to track a couple of runs a day or an hour or two of riding, it should last 3 to 4 days at the very least, according to Garmin. Verdict. In a nutshell, I'm pleased. The Garmin Vivoactive 3 is a truly unique fitness watch. It checks almost every box. It's easy to use and accurate. It includes GPS, altimeter, and heart rate sensors. It monitors your swims in addition to all the usual fitness activities, plus a few additional, and it's a fantastic everyday activity tracker. That it does all of this while still including some smartwatch functionality is quite astounding, and while it isn't a very attractive gadget, it does pretty much everything I'd expect from a fitness smartwatch hybrid. The one big flaw is the absence of phone-free music listening, which isn't something that will affect everyone, at least not me. If Garmin can get bank approval for their NFC-based contactless payment system, it will be the ideal all around.